Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to have a little fun walking through the Dries Van Noten Discovery set, as well as sharing the full bottles that I own from Dries Van Noten and what is on my wish list. I have been meaning to do this review for quite some time. I have owned this discovery set for more than a year. I've been playing around with these perfumes, so I just thought it would be fun to kind of just walk through the whole discovery set, give you the lowdown on each perfume, the ones that I own, as well as the ones that I want to pick up. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the Dries Van Noten perfumes, then let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, I am finally filming the Dries Van Noten Discovery set. I have recently gone down the rabbit hole of these perfumes. Now, I feel like I'm a little bit of a late bloomer as far as diving into these perfumes. These launched, I believe, in 2022. I was introduced to the line when I was on a trip to Paris. They had just launched these. They had all the beautiful bottles as well as the lipsticks and the lipstick cases, and my daughter and I were smelling all of them, and honestly we thought so many were good. I just didn't end up purchasing any at the time because I just had other things on my list, but this has been on my radar for a while, and I was asked if I would do a full review of the Discovery set, which I am so thrilled to do today. So in the Discovery set, it comes with 10 of their perfumes. So I have the 10 Eau De Parfums in the Discovery set, and then they have recently launched 4 new Eau De Parfums. I have one of them to share with you today. And then they offer 3 Eau de Toilettes, and I have one of those. So they have a total collection of 17 fragrances, but I've got one of the new launches as well as one of the Eau de Toilettes. So we'll be able to smell a majority of these perfumes today, and I thought I would just go ahead and dive into the Discovery set. So the Discovery set is $75, but this is a great way for you to try the fragrances before you buy. This is a pricey perfume brand. Basically, for the Eau De Parfums, they range from $330 to $365, I believe, for the really popular Suah Malaki fragrance. And then the Eau de Toilettes, you actually get a huge bottle. These are $225, and I feel like these are a great value. We'll get into that in a bit, but let's go ahead and start with the Discovery set. And these are the 10 that we are going to be smelling together today. So first of all, the packaging of these perfumes are so beautiful. So these really are like pieces of art. I just think they are so gorgeous. I love the bottles that these come in. There's going to be glass with then some sort of beautiful design on the bottom. It also has a very unique cap here. It's very like heavy and sturdy. It feels very quality. That's what I would say. And these just, of course, like display beautifully on your vanity. So I will give the packaging an A+, but yes, it matters what the juice inside smells like. So it's not all packaging, but they really are some of the most beautiful bottles that I've ever seen. And then we are going to start right at the beginning, and the first one that we're going to be smelling is Jardon Danger, and this is an orange blossom and sandalwood fragrance, and this one is a personal favorite. I own a whole bottle of this one and I absolutely love the bright sunshine yellow with the pink base. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you will know I am a pink girl, absolutely love it. But this perfume is Sunshine in a Bottle. This one is a total joy maker. My friend Deb, who is a fellow frag head, had told me that I need to run out, get my nose on this. She said, I think you are going to fall in love with it. It seems like a very you scent. And this one is like perfection for right now during the summer months. You definitely can wear this perfume year round, but it is just a bright, happy, feminine, pretty fragrance. Like this is a perfume that I actually could see someone on their wedding day wearing. That is how beautiful it is. I just love this one. So the top notes in here are neroli. Then in the middle notes, you've got ylang ylang and jasmine. Then in the base notes, you've got orange blossom, milk, and sandalwood. So this is a creamy, dreamy sort of orange blossom, like really beautiful floral fragrance, which has a little bit of a tropical hit in it from that ylang ylang, but it's on a beautiful bed of creamy sandalwood. It has this milky accord that just makes this really like a creamy, dreamy scent. It is so stunning. It is so joyful. So what I would say is if you were somebody who thought that Kilian's Love Don't Be Shy was a little too sugary, like it has that beautiful kind of marshmallowy orange blossom note in your fragrances, but that maybe that one goes a little too sweet for you. You want something that's a little bit more grounded. That's what I would say is this has this kind of milky creaminess, and that ylang ylang just really shines in here. Neroli, of course, is going to add sort of a fresh cleanness to the scent. So I love this because it's got this freshness, but it's definitely kind of solar, like it feels warm, very inviting. It just meshes in with the skin so well. I just love it. It is like joy in a bottle for me. I think it is just one of the most beautiful feminine fragrances. I love, love, love this one, but I am self-admittedly, I gravitate towards those kind of feminine, pretty fragrances. So that falls right into this camp. It is just stunning. And I definitely think if you are somebody who loves sort of soft, creamy florals and you are looking for a joyful, easy to wear summer scent, this is going to be the one to go. Okay, the next one we're going to be smelling is Neon Garden. And this is described as a mint iris scent. This one is going to be for all of my friends who love kind of clean musk scents. Maybe you are somebody who loves like Diptyque's Fleur de Peau, or you're into that clean girl aesthetic. This one is going to be in that sort of genre, but it's got that mint in here, and I feel like this is a little bit more on like the cold side of fragrances. And when I say cold, I'm just saying like if you gravitate towards those kind of warm, creamy, buttery fragrances, this one is going to be more of this dry, airy kind of iris. Always kind of lends itself to that powdery iris scent in here. This one has a little crisp note from that mint that really comes out on the dry down of it. This is one that I have been kind of intrigued by. I don't know if it is like a total me scent, but let me give you the notes here. The top note is mint. You definitely get that sort of invigorating mint, kind of opens up your nasal passages, your eyes a little bit. Then in the middle, you've got iris and carrot. And so there is a little bit of a vegetal note in here. That might be it. So it's got this powdery, beautiful iris and then a little note of carrot in it. And then in the base, you have ambroxan and musk. Now on my skin, When the dry down came, I sort of was missing the iris, and I got a lot of the kind of mint and the musk is what I thought. It almost leaned a little bit more masculine to me, but it is still a very interesting scent. So this is going to be for those of you who are searching for that sort of crisp, clean musk fragrance, and you're definitely going to get some of the powdery iris in here, but like on my skin, I definitely am smelling the clean musks, but I'm getting that kind of sharp mint. So this is one of these fragrances that I want to love because I love that bottle. I think it's absolutely stunning. And it definitely is falling into that clean girl aesthetic. I definitely getting the soft musk in here. I'm getting that mint. Just on my skin, it tends to dry down a little bit more masculine. So this is a definite like. It is just one that I'm not sure is completely me, but for those of you that like a little bit more of a dry, airier kind of fragrance, and the idea of this invigorating mint that will stay with you sounds appealing, this is one that I would definitely get your nose on because I feel like it is a little more unique than some of the other in this genre. So the next two we have are going to be rose-based fragrances. We are going to start with Rosa Carnivara, and I actually really like this rose scent. Now, to me, this is not a super feminine leaning rose. This is definitely a unisex rose scent. Now, I will admit when I first smelled this scent, it does have some very strong similarities to Le Labo's Rose 31. So if you like that one, I have a feeling you're going to love this one. To my nose, the vetiver in here really is pronounced, so it's a little bit woodier. I almost find it to be a bit sweeter, whereas Rose 31 again kind of falls in a little bit of that drier camp, whereas I find the rose in here to be just a little bit sweeter. It's a little bit woodier. There might be just a maybe tad bit earthier is what I would say. Let me give you the notes. The top notes are rose and pink pepper. The middle notes are vetiver and floral notes. And then in the base, you've got patchouli and labdanum. And I will tell you, I think that's it. The patchouli in here, I feel like is kind of in between that clean patchouli and earthy. There's a little bit of earthiness in here, but that being said, there's an addictive quality to this fragrance. I just don't know if this would be full bottle worthy for myself. This one's got some presence to it. Like if you are looking for something a little bit bolder, you love the idea of some patchouli in there. You like the idea of sort of a woodier rose scent. There's plenty of like rose and patchouli scents in here, but what I am getting the most out of, I definitely smell the rose, but I am getting the woody aspects of this fragrance the most for on my skin and such. So that's the vetiver in here. So this one for myself is another like. I doubt I would buy a full bottle of that just because I do enjoy rose scents, but it's not something that I gravitate and wear on the daily. I have to be in the mood. So we've got that woody rose, and then moving on to Raving Rose. Whoa. Okay, so this is like the complete opposite of Rosa Carnivora. I am smelling this very fresh, youthful rose. This is a very sweet rose. It's very fresh. This smells like a very fresh, like morning dew roses. Like there's like a sort of fresh, kind of clean, watery rose element in this. I'm pretty sure this has Bulgarian rose in it. You definitely need to like rose fragrances for this one. It's actually quite beautiful, especially for those of you that love rose scents. This could be a winner. The top notes in here are pink pepper and black pepper. So I definitely did smell a little bit of spice when I first sprayed this out, but it wasn't like Rose Prick from Tom Ford, which I really kind of smelled that, you know, really strong spiciness at the very beginning. I'm definitely getting this really fresh young rose just at the very beginning. So then in the middle notes, it's got rose water as well as rose. So there is this sort of fresh, dewy wateriness to this fragrance. And then in the base notes, you've got cashmere and musk. So to me, I feel like this is going to be your soft, fresh rose musk scent. Very different than the other one. This one is also giving me a little bit of Diptyque's Eau de Rose vibes. That's what my daughter wears, and that's a very, very like fresh fragrance. It does have rose in it, but it's also a very freshy scent. If you've ever smelled that, this one's going to be a little bit deeper than that, but it definitely has that kind of vibe, like that kind of modern, watery, first thing in the morning, you're walking out and there's a little bit of dew on the roses. Very fresh, young, modern. That's what I would say about Raving Rose. Okay, the next one we're going to smell is Cannabis Pachuli, and it's described as a Cannabis Patchouli scent. Basically, I live in Portland, Oregon, and my whole city basically smells like pot. So very familiar with the smell of cannabis, but this makes me laugh. Like, this is Portland in a bottle because it rains a lot here. It is absolutely stunning. We have beautiful greenery, trees, all of that, but think about kind of that wet, earthy, mossy kind of smell, and then add on a little bit of weed, and then I feel like you are going to just walk in. Like, if I sprayed this on, I would smell totally like Portland. That's what I would say. Portland in a bottle. And, you know, as much as I may enjoy living here, I definitely do not want to smell like the city itself. Let me give you the notes here. I do find that cannabis can be a very interesting note in perfume. I haven't really found one that I enjoy fully. So the top notes in here are bergamot and cedar needles. The middle is patchouli. Definitely feels earthy in this scent. It's got incense and sage, and then it is vetiver and musk. So to me, it's not a scent for me. It's just very earthy. It is damp. It feels like literally you got to come out to Portland. You've got to come after a good rain here, walk into some of our beautiful parks and such, where you will smell some weed along with the wet earth. That's what this smells like to me. Like, if you gravitate towards these kind of earthy, kind of sensual scents, that this could be intriguing to you. Okay, moving on to a scent for my fig lovers. The next one is Santel Greenery. Now this, on the other hand, is a kind of green fragrance that I really do like. I am intrigued by this one. This one is a definite like potential for myself. Like, this one is a really beautiful scent. So let me give you the notes. It's going to open with bergamot and grapefruit. Okay, that's what it is. And then the middle notes are fig and violet leaf. And the fig and the violet are really, really stunning in this fragrance. And then in the base note, you've got creamy sandalwood as well as white musk. So this one is definitely a green, fresh scent. That's what I would say. If you're looking for something that's creamy and fresh, this might be for you. I definitely think you need to like fig scents. That's what I would say. I love the idea of fig scents, and I can get down with them from time to time. It's not something that I totally gravitate towards, but it's something that I want to. I don't know why. Isn't that silly? It's probably because I literally am somebody who loves fresh figs. Like, that is my ultimate favorite fruit ever. So when fresh figs come into season, I'm the crazy lady who's over there squeezing the figs, getting the perfect basket of the ones that I love. But I will say this is sort of a bold fragrance. That's what I would say. It is fresh, it is green, it is strong. That's what it is. Or in my skin, it is strong. Like, it kind of grew, because I have been playing with this, seeing if this is one that I want to pick up. And honestly, this one is fresh. It is lush. It is like full of life. The fig is very pronounced in here. I also find that the sandalwood is pronounced in this one. It is really, really green and fresh. One thing I noticed smelling right now is that grapefruit is starting to come out. Like that little tartness from the grapefruit is kind of mixing in with that juicy fig, and then you really got that strong kind of creamy sandalwood. So this one is a definite like, but I do say if you are somebody who adores fig scents, you really got to get your nose on this one. This is definitely one of the most like juicy, figgy scents I've ever smelled. So it is not like Diptyque's Velocicos. This is definitely for my fig lovers. Real quick note though, this is already kind of even growing on the paper. That's what I found. I had been testing this, and this was one of those fragrances that kind of got bigger and louder as the day went on, to the point where I was like, this might be too big for me. This might be too green for me. But again, I feel like fig lovers need to get their nose on that. Okay, the next one is Voodoo Chili, and this is a rosemary patchouli scent. And this one is another one that has the note of cannabis in here, but this one is a little bit more aromatic. That's what I would say. So the top notes in here are cannabis and rosemary. The middle notes are mastic and patchouli. You definitely smell patchouli in here. So for all my patchouli lovers, this might be an interesting one for you. And then in the base notes, it is sandalwood and cedar. Now, compared to Cannabis Pachuli, this one I quite like because the cannabis in here almost smells fresh and clean. It doesn't smell kind of dank and weedy. Also the rosemary, as you can imagine, this is just more of an aromatic take on the cannabis, I would say. This one to me almost smells like eucalyptus is in here. It isn't, but it's definitely like that rosemary. I think it definitely has something that's going to open up your nose passages. When I first smelled this, this has a little note of like icy hot, if you've ever had to put that on your muscles. Bengay icy hot. It's got that sort of invigorating aromatic feel to it. With this one, even when I'm touching my nose to the paper strip, like it has like the, you know, it's opening up my passages as if I put a little bit of icy hot at the end of my nose here. So for me, this is a very interesting scent. It is very aromatic. I think patchouli lovers would like this. The cannabis in here, I don't know if it's, you know, cleaner cannabis. Basically what I would say is it's a little bit sweeter. This is not something that I hate. I don't think I would pick up a bottle. I actually find it quite interesting and very invigorating. That's what I would say. If you are looking for, like, you're a patchouli lover, you like the idea of that cannabis note in here, again, still a little earthy and such, but this one will definitely wake you up, and it's very interesting. Okay, the next one is Rock the Myrrh. This is one that literally, like, my eyeballs are kind of going back in their head. Like, this one is incredible. Definitely on my list, like my wish list here. This is a warm, ambery, I want to say slightly sweet, kind of resinous scent. This one is having like a real moment for me. Like, I definitely have to say, like, when I first smell this, it's not what I'm gravitating towards at the moment, meaning it is like summertime here. And when I smell this really gorgeous ambery scent, it is reminding me like it's gonna shine in the cooler fall months. That's what it's kind of giving me vibes of. There's a hint, just a hint of Grand Soir in here. It's that lovely amber that you get from that. That's like one of the best amber scents out there. So let me give you the notes of this one. The top notes are pink pepper and cypress. The middle notes are myrrh and patchouli. Again, this is going to be one for my kind of amber patchouli. You like those kind of rich scents. This one will be for you. Then in the base notes, you've got suede and benzoin. So this one is a yes. I literally would pick up a full bottle of this. I would wait till the fall months because I feel like that's when it's just gonna sing. But this one is kind of rich and opulent. It is sophisticated. It is, you know, has this warm resinous kind of, the benzoin kind of makes it that kind of cozy, kind of comforting scent as well. This one is addictive. It is gorgeous. It is like, you know, I'm having one of those kind of moments where I'm like, wow, that's what I look for in fragrances. Like when I have that kind of effect from one, doesn't always mean that I need a full bottle of it, but it definitely means that it caught my attention, and that's what I would say. This is going to be an attention getter. I think it smells fabulous, and I could definitely see myself picking this up full bottle worthy in the... Okay, we have two more from the Discovery set. The next one is Flur Demal. Now this one is an asmanthus and suede scent, and I will admit this is on my list to pick up. This is a Quentin Biche creation, which I tend to love so many of his fragrances. My only hesitation was this one is leather, and I have kind of a complicated relationship. Some leather scents like suede on me can almost go a little bit like cat piss on me. I don't actually have a better way to describe it than that, but let me give you the notes in this. And no, this does not smell like that. I'm just talking about my own chemistry with the note of leather slash suede. So this is a fruity floral suede perfume. Now the top notes in here are peach. Then in the middle notes you've got asmanthus, and asmanthus flowers can often have sort of a apricot smell to them. So think of like peach and apricot kind of in the opening, and then you've got jasmine, which I am obsessed with. And then in the base, you've got suede and amber. And the suede in this fragrance is very smooth. Like when I tried this one out, it was almost immediate full bottle worthy, partly because I'm having a jasmine moment. I really do enjoy sort of these peach apricot perfumes. And then there is a kind of warmth and sexiness to this fragrance. So that is probably my only hesitation. To me, this may not be like my everyday go-to scent. This would definitely lean on gotta be in the mood to wear it, if that makes sense. To me, there's sort of like a little innocence about this when you first spray it on. And then as it dries down, that suede kind of comes out. There's almost this little naughty character that comes into the fold when you are wearing this. That's what I'm saying. It's got a little sexy vibe to it. I really do think this one is truly gorgeous. I'm attracted to that purple bottle, but there's just something that's holding me back a little bit because I can get easily enticed by the marketing and the, you know, prettiness of bottles. And this is one that I'm just not sure how often I would reach for it. I definitely think it is gorgeous. I definitely think it is kind of an interesting, sexy, fruity, floral fragrance. If that's what you're looking for, the truth is it's got like a little naughty or dirty note in it. And I'm just curious if that is the way the suede is reacting to my chemistry, or if you have smelled this, let me know if you kind of get that. I feel like it's got a little, you have two, like the angel on one side and the devil on the other, and they might be having like a little competition. So there's just like a teeny bit of naughtiness in this fragrance. This one is definitely worth getting your nose on. I think one thing that I find with Quentin creations is that, like, with guidance, there was that note when you first spray it on. I don't know if it's cumin or what it might be, but I was like, I don't know if I love this. And then the dry down happened. And I was like, oh my gosh, it is incredible. But there was that moment where I was like, I don't know if this is going to be for me. But that's what there is, like a little note in here that I am not personally sure works with my chemistry. But again, as I'm smelling this on the tester strip, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really quite a unique floral. It is definitely beautiful. Okay, last but not least, in the Discovery set, you get the uber popular Suah Malaki. Now, I have to tell you, I do not know why I don't own this scent. So many of you told me to pick this up, that I was going to completely fall in love with it. So sometimes when things are so hyped up, I get a little bit skeptical, but I have to say, this might be a purchase for today. This is described as a chestnut silk fragrance. Oh my gosh. So this again, my eyeballs are kind of rolling back in my head. I love this composition. This definitely has this really beautiful rose, kind of black currant note in here that's super addictive. It does have a nuttiness, this chestnut, with a dusting of cacao in it as well. And maybe that was it. I remember smelling it and I wasn't sure if that chestnut was working on my skin. But as I'm smelling this today, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a completely me fragrance. So let me give you the notes. It's black currant and bergamot. In the middle, you've got silk and rose, and that is it. You smell this very silky rose in here. This is a smooth operator. It is so beautiful. And then in the base, you've got chestnut and cacao. Now, I kind of remember at the time I had sort of a lot of gourmand fragrances and I wasn't quite sure about this one. And it was very hyped, but I have to say, now that I'm taking a smell, I'm going to be wearing this one again today because it is so beautiful. Like, I do imagine like the most beautiful, like a slip silk dress. And then you're going to put on your like softest cashmere sweater. That's what I'm imagining, like a super high-end silk slip dress. Then I'm going to put on my like creme de la creme cashmere kind of fuzzy sweater that I love so much. That's what this feels like on the skin. It is so smooth. It is so beautiful. And I think what I'm liking about this is that little touch of cacao and that chestnut are not too much. I'm not really gravitating towards gourmand scents at the moment, but this is what I'm saying is this just has a little pinch of that. Just a little bit of sweetness here. I think this one feels like a little bit fancy, and since I'm more of a casual girl, that may be another reason I haven't picked it up. But you know what? I'm feeling like I need this. This just is such a smooth, beautiful operator. I am just in love with this at the moment. So good. And I know that so many of you already own this one, so I wanted to ask you if you have smelled the new Louboutin, the Fétiche La Rose. I was told that this one had similar vibes to that one, but I'm laughing because when my daughter went to smell those for me, they don't sell them any place locally here. She'd said, well, they're really good, but they smell a little slutty for you. I was like, what? So don't take that the wrong way. That's her way of saying that they're sexier fragrances, and I'm her mom, so she can't imagine me in that kind of light. But I did want to know if that's something I should smell before pulling the trigger on this one. I think this one smells really unique, and it's just so smooth and beautiful that we might have to pick that one up today. Okay, that is the Discovery scent, and then I have two more bottles that I want to share with you. I have one from the new Eau De Parfum lines. This is Chamomile Satin, and this is a chamomile tea and vanilla scent. This is basically a lavender vanilla tea latte in a perfume. This is very comforting. This is a great everyday scent. This smells incredible. It does have some powdery facets to it. Let me give you the notes real quick. In the top, you've got chamomile as well as petitgrain. Then in the heart notes, you've got lavender absolute. So it definitely has that sort of comforting spa-like quality to it. Orange flower absolute, rose Turkish absolute, and then in the base you've got vanilla bean, musk, and galbanum. And really this is this very comforting, like if you are stressed, this is what I would tell you to put on because it's going to lower your cortisol levels right away, kind of a little escape. So like I always say that tea is a hug in a mug. That's what I would say this is. This one definitely has that sort of calming quality to it. And as somebody who enjoys vanilla fragrances, the vanilla in here is going to be sort of more of that dry, kind of puffy vanilla. It's not going to lean too sweet. Again, the best way I can describe this is a chamomile, lavender, vanilla, tea latte, going to be your stress reliever scent. It is just stunning. I love the packaging. I think it is just gorgeous. And then the other one that I am tempted by is the Vanilla Camouflage. And I've heard that is a very green vanilla, very similar to Guerlain's Angelique Noir, which I already own a bottle of. So that is why I did not pick that one up. But if you are someone who does not have Angelique Noir by Guerlain, you want something that may be just a little bit more green, and you love vanilla scents, that might be one to check out. Now, speaking of vanilla scents, one of my ultimate favorites from Dries Van Noten is from the Eau de Toilette line, and this is Suah Malaki, and this is a Quentin Biche creation. This is described as a bergamot vanilla scent. It had every single note that I love in perfume all together. I also feel like this Eau de Toilette, you get a freaking humongous 200 ml bottle for $255. So you can just spray this on liberally, but you really don't have to. Even though this is an Eau de Toilette, this has some presence to it. Like I feel like this is a huge value. Number one, I'm obsessed with this sort of ombre bottle. It is blue and purple, or I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but it is stunning. And the top notes in here, it's going to open with bergamot and mandarin, so really beautiful, fresh, citrusy burst. In the heart notes, you've got orange blossom accord as well as some woodiness from vetiver. And then in the base, you've got vanilla bean accord as well as tonka bean. And this was just an absolute no-brainer for me. It is this fresh vanilla citrusy scent. I love it. I am somebody who loves citrus vanilla scents. I think they play so well together. Tonka is going to add some depth to this. The woodiness in here, this is not like a super sweet vanilla or anything like that. What I love about it is that it's got this freshness, it's got this airiness to it, but then it's got this kind of sensual, warm underbelly. This is just an easy, like I get out of the shower, I spray this all over, I'm going to smell incredible all day long. It's just a perfect everyday scent. It lends itself to this time of year as well. Sort of this citrusy vanilla. Again, the vanilla in here is not a sweet vanilla. It is a sophisticated, sort of dry, airy vanilla. Very, very beautiful. And again, it's kind of got this warmth underneath, that tonka kind of benzoin feeling to this fragrance. So this might be my number one favorite for my everyday scent year round. So let me quickly give you a little bit of ranking Of the scents that I own, absolutely love the Mapo. This is just an everyday no-brainer scent. I would say from the Eau De Parfum line, I am obsessed with the Jardin Danger. This is just sort of happiness in a bottle. I love it so much. Then I would say, honestly, I'm a little bit obsessed with the Suah Malaki. I do not own this one, but honestly, I would probably rank Suah Malaki before my Chamomile Satin, even though I think this one is a gorgeous scent. This one makes my eyeballs roll back in my head, so kind of more of a stunner fragrance. This is great every day. As I said, very cozy, comforting scent. And then I would have to say, Rock the Myrrh. This is a one I know that I'm going to want to pick up in the fall. So those are kind of the ones that I would definitely purchase. There's just so many unique fragrances in this discovery set. As usual, I love to hear from you. Let me know your favorites from this brand. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with another video soon.